Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Tobias and today I'm doing an unboxing and review of this portable espresso maker that I have right here. It was sent to me for free by the brand Traverseon, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says right here that it is compatible with the Nespresso original capsules and also ground coffee. So I actually went out and I bought some Peet's espresso pods. It says that it is compatible with Nespresso original. But anyways, this espresso maker goes for $160 on the Traverseon website. I'll go ahead and put the link to that down in the description below. Let's go ahead and unbox this and then we'll test it out with this. I'm actually super excited for this. All right, here we go guys. Let's open this thing up. All right, got some styrofoam. Oh, it's white. Oh, okay. I do remember, whoa, the box completely just folded out. I remember seeing on the website there were several different colors you could get. There was like black, I think there was green. I got the white one, it looks like. Whoa, okay, so there's like some decent weight to this. Let's see what else we have in here. Looks like we have a user manual. We have like a little carrying pouch. Is there anything in there? Nope, nothing in there. We have, what is this thing? I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at that user manual. Here we have a little spoon. What else? Oh man, this thing is really in there. What is this thing? Oh, it's like one of those things you use to tap down the coffee, I think, no? Or the espresso, right? Not 100% sure, but that's what it looks like. We got a USB-C charging cable, a little brush. I'm guessing this is for cleaning, and whatever this is. All right, okay, we got a power button right there. I just want to take a quick look at this before I actually go to use it, or before I take a look at the instructions, you know what I mean? Oh, look at that. That's probably where you put the water. I'm guessing this is like a cup you could drink from. And then, yeah, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the instructions and I'll get right back to you guys. Oh, right here it looks like is the USB-C port. I'm also gonna see if it needs charged right now. It might need charge. Let's go ahead. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and plug it into a cable, see if it starts charging. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I think I figured this thing out. I took a look at the instructions and I saw that this is how it works. Basically, you open it like this, you unscrew this, and then this part that's inside, this is the coffee adapter. So if you go ahead and open that like this, I don't know if you guys can see that, this is kind of like a strainer or whatever you would call that to put the ground coffee in. And then you can go ahead and close that and then put that back in there. And then you would close that up and then you would open this part and that's where you would pour your water in. Now, let me go ahead and take this apart again and I'm gonna put this aside. And this right here is the adapter for the Nespresso capsules. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there like that. And from what it looked like in the instructions, well, actually, it's the only way it fits. So you put it in the bottom and then you put it inside there and then you screw this into there. I'm not going to screw it in quite yet, just because I'm pretty sure once I screw it in, I'm pretty sure it's going to puncture the capsule. So I don't want to do that yet, because the first thing I want to do before I use this is I want to just run some regular water through it to kind of like clean it out for the first use. So I'm going to go ahead and open this, and then one second guys, I gotta go get my Brita real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this with water. I'm wondering, is it better if I just do this at the sink? One second. Alright guys, so in that last clip that you just saw, like I said, I was trying to heat up some water to pass through it before I actually tried brewing an espresso. What ended up happening is this didn't have as much battery as I thought it had. It was able to heat up the water. I don't know if it was to 100%, but it was able to heat up the water, but it wasn't charged enough to, I guess, finish and make the water pass through and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and try again. I just literally left this thing charging for a couple hours. So in that time, it was able to charge about 50%. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and open this. I'm going to go ahead and pour water in the top right here. There's a little line in here that says where the max fill line is. So I'm just going to fill it all the way. A little bit more, that's it. I'll go ahead and put the top on. And then I believe the instructions said you have to hold this button for 2 seconds. Okay, so it made a noise. So I'll show you right now, but basically when the water is fully heated, all 4 lights will light up right here. And then it should start, I believe it should start dispensing the water at that point. As you can see, it's already at 2 lights. So the water is heating up. It doesn't feel warm or anything quite yet. So yeah, we have probably a little bit longer until all of those are lit up. All right guys, so it just finished, so let me see if I could open this. It's dispensing the water right now. So yeah, it's dispensing straight into this cup. I'm actually gonna go straight into the sink. Whoops, I just spilled the water all over my counter. Am I recording? That would suck if I wasn't recording. All right, I am, cool. So yeah, it's dispensing the water right now. I'm just gonna wait until it's done. When it's finished, it should turn off by itself. I don't know if you guys could hear that beep, but it beeped and it shut off. So now it's done. Let's see if there's any water left in the top. There's just a little bit of water left in the top. I'll just go ahead and pour that out. So now I'm gonna do the same thing pretty much, but with the espresso pod this time. I just wanted to run a little bit of water through there before actually brewing an espresso. So 1 second guys, let me grab a pod. So just like I showed you earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and open this bottom part. Okay, there we go, cool. I'm gonna take out the pod adapter thing. I'll go ahead and put the pod in. Then I guess I have to put this in here and then screw this together. And I'm guessing that should puncture the pod if I'm not mistaken. Should I check? Part of me is wondering if I should check if it did. Did it puncture the pod? On the other side? It did, okay. So I'm a little confused. How does it drain through? I've used a Nespresso machine before, like the full-size machines, but I've never used something like this. It's tightened all the way, so I mean, that's gotta be it. I'll just put it back in here. I'm going to fill it back up with water, put the top back on, and hold this for 2 seconds. And it's gonna start heating up and do that whole thing again. You know what, this time I'm going to time it. Let's see how long it takes. Okay guys, so I have to stop again because it just shut off. So as you saw, it looked like we had about 50% battery. We made that what would have been 1 cup of coffee, and I guess it did not have enough power to do another cup. Mind you, I left this thing charging for a couple hours. So I mean, that's one thing. It takes forever to charge this thing, and it uses up battery really fast, I guess. Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm going to stop for tonight. I'm going to charge this thing overnight because I have a feeling it just takes a really long time to charge. So I'll charge it overnight and I'll finish this in the morning. You know, when you get new products, generally you should fully charge them before using them for the first time. So that kind of might be my bad, but at the same time, this thing does charge really slow. That's just kind of a fact at this point. So anyways, let's continue tomorrow. All right guys, it's the next morning. I just woke up. I left the espresso maker charging all night. It now has full battery. If I tap here, we'll see all 4 lights are lit up. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Let's pour in the water and see if we can finally get a cup of espresso. All right, just hold the power button for 2 seconds. There it goes. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna time how long it takes to make. All right guys, so it's almost finished. It's been 5 minutes and 40 seconds. It's on the 3rd light, so it has to get all the way up to 4. And then once it gets up to 4, okay, now it's at 4. So I'm going to take it out of here and I'm going to dispense it into this cup instead. I could feel the water inside boiling. So right now the lights are flickering. So yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it's going to dispense right now. Whoa, there it goes. Nice. Yeah, I was not sure how it was going to get the water through the pod that I inserted last night, because as you saw, it punctured from the top, but the bottom of the pod didn't get punctured. So I'm not exactly sure how this is working, but I guess we'll see once I remove the pod. All right, it just stopped. It just turned off. I'm gonna just wait until it stops dripping. And I actually do want to see like how many cups it can make. Okay, so it looks like it's finished. Let me just put it in here. So yeah, it took roughly, I would say about 6 minutes to make a cup of espresso. Yeah, let's go ahead, and I'm going to just go ahead and fill it up again, because of course, sometimes there might be more than one person around. You might want to make more than one cup. All right, so here we go. Yeah, already guys, it's showing, before it dropped down to 1 light, as if it's like starting to heat up, it showed 2 lights on the espresso maker, making me think it's at 50% battery. But in my opinion, that would be really bad if it was really only at 50% battery from just making 1 cup. I mean, you want to make at least 2 cups from 1 charge. I mean, even 2 seems kind of low. Like, I would say you should be able to make 4 cups from 1 charge, because it takes so long to charge. But anyways, let's taste this espresso. Ooh, it's really hot. Yeah, it tastes really good. Exactly what I expected it to taste like, exactly how it should taste. I've never had those Peet's Coffee espresso pods, so yeah, really good. So anyways, I'm gonna do this. I'll see how many cups it can make. Let's see if it can at least make 3 or 4. All right guys, right now it's dispensing cup number 2. I forgot to take my old espresso pod out of there, so it's gonna come out looking like coffee. So that right there is 2 cups. You know, I'm gonna open this up and take out that other pod. Ah, so that's how it works, guys. So actually, it does puncture the lid of the espresso pod. Let me show you. Ooh, it's really hot. So yeah, it punctures both the lid and the bottom of the pod. And then if I check the battery, it shows that it has 50% battery. So let's see if we can at least make 2 more espressos. Let's see, guys. Just gonna rinse this out quick. Yeah, guys, it seems like pretty easy to clean. At least the parts that come out. And then if you want to clean out the inside, just run water through it, I guess. But yeah, here we go. So this will be number 3. Let's see if it can do it. Okay guys, so it's now dispensing cup number 3. Another thing to keep into consideration is that, say, unlike a standard, like say a Keurig machine or something like that, where it heats up a larger amount of water, this only heats up enough water for 1 cup. So like in other coffee machines, you'll still have hot water after you finish making 1 cup. This one, you're pretty much starting over every time. So it does take a bit longer because it has to heat that cold water every time. You can also make this with hot water, and then you don't have to wait, but all right, there we go. But I think most people will probably be using this to heat the water, like I am right now. So anyways, there we go, the 3rd cup. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that out. Let's see if we have enough power to make a 4th cup. It's still showing we have about 50% battery, so if we can make at least 4 cups, I think that would be pretty decent. All right, let's see. All right, guys, so it was a brewing, and then it stopped. I mean, not brewing, it was heating up, and it stopped by the time it got to like 2 lights. I'm gonna give it 1 more try. It didn't beep. Yeah, there's not enough power to make a 4th cup. And when I tap the button to see the battery life, only the bottom light is lighting up. So this thing has a limitation of about 3 cups, it seems, which in my opinion is kind of on the low side, to be honest. I'm sure it does take a lot of power to heat that water, but I was kind of hoping for a bit more. Alright guys, so when it comes to my final review of this espresso maker, to be honest, if I had paid for this myself, I got it, like I said, I got it for free. If I had paid for this myself, I would probably be a bit disappointed. Like I was saying, I expected a better battery life, especially the way I feel it's marketed. I feel like it's marketed towards like outdoorsy type people. But I mean, you take this thing on a camping trip, you make yourself and your 2 buddies an espresso, the thing's dead on the first day. Unless you have a place to charge this thing up, you're kind of out of luck. Unless, of course, like I said, unless you are heating up your own water, like it says you can do, then I'm sure you get quite a bit more use out of this, out of a single charge. But I feel like kind of the main point of this is to heat your own water. So, I mean, it has its limitations. I'm sure there's a time and a place for it. For example, a couple weeks ago, I was in Vegas. The hotel we were staying in was charging $8 for a regular cup of black coffee. So, I mean, I would have loved to have this thing with me there, of course, in a hotel room. room, I could charge it up every night. It would have been perfect for that kind of situation. I would have saved some money on coffee. You know, like one of those packs of espresso pods is like 10 bucks. Plus they taste better than the hotel coffee. So, I mean, it's a win-win in that situation. But I don't know if I would be humping this around on like when I go hiking or on a camping trip. Another thing is if you're on a road trip, sure, it might work in that situation as well. You don't want to pull off to get a cup of coffee. You could just make an espresso in your car. If you have charging ports in your car, you know, just plug in the USB-C cable. I mean, I think there are ways, there's like certain places where it makes sense. But again, I was kind of hoping for a better battery life. And as I keep saying, it takes a super long time to charge. So in my opinion, it's kind of like a novelty thing. I mean, I'll keep it here. Maybe I'll keep it on my desk when I feel like an espresso. I can just make one, you know, I can have it on charge, you know, whenever I want. So in that sense, I think it's totally fine. But I don't think I'm gonna hump this around if I go camping or if I go for a hike, you know what I mean? So anyways, pretty cool, a bit expensive, but I think it's important that you guys know the limitations of this thing. So anyways, if you're interested, I'll have the link for it down in the description below. You know how I feel about it. I just want everyone to know like the limitations. If you are thinking about purchasing one of these, you know, you're a single charge, you're talking about 3 espressos, then you gotta charge it for hours. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be just about it for this video. If you did like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much. If you'd like to see more of my videos in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace!